Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Regulate My Nervous System with me. It's Lyric, and in the first episode, I was coloring because I was crashing out, and then the second episode, I was journaling. And this time, we are not meditating, we are actually doing yoga. I try to go to yoga a couple of times, once a week, maybe a few times a month. And I go to yoga at the community center in my neighborhood. It is offered free by a nonprofit organization in Nashville, and they partner with the libraries and community centers. So if you are interested in attending yoga and you are in the Nashville area on Saturdays, Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, you should go check out your local library and ask them when they have yoga. But yeah, this day I was really tired, hence all the yawning. But in this third episode, I'm not feeling like I'm crashing out. I'm not feeling like I'm about to go off on anybody. At this point, I am just working on continuing to regulate my nervous system. I showed up to class, and there was this lady who said, "You must be really dedicated if you showed up with a hand sprain." I am dedicated to my health, and I am dedicated to not crashing out. I'm dedicated to decreasing the opportunities to get overwhelmed and stressed out and burnt out, and all of that leading to emotional reactivity and crashing out. So, this is another one of my tools in my toolbox for regulating my nervous system and keeping myself grounded. And, we're going to do this by all means necessary. I've been doing yoga for like 10 to maybe 12 years, I think. And I remember when I first started doing yoga, I was strict about it. First of all, it was a strict program around here. I was really flexible, and I was taking the class in college. I remember I had to go home because it was like spring break or something, or maybe fall break, and I was doing yoga in the living room, and my cousin and my sister were laughing at me. They were like, "What are you doing laying on the floor?" First of all, I was in Shavasana. I was relaxing. I was grounding. I was doing yoga. But that's neither here nor there. It's been very inconsistent. This is something that, like, ideally, when I feel my best, I am doing yoga. You will know that I am feeling my greatest whenever I am utilizing all the tools in my toolbox. And when I am not feeling great or feeling a little bit lazy, yoga, meditation, journaling, those are the first things to go. And they don't need to go anywhere. I had a life coach, and she told me we have to figure out what balls are glass balls in our life and what's a rubber ball. So for me, journaling, yoga, anything that has to do with my mental health and like keeping me calm is a glass ball. And what that looks like is if you throw it up in the sky and it falls and hits the ground, it's going to break. And in that analogy, a break is a crash out or something going wrong. A rubber ball for me could probably be hanging out with a friend. I can throw that ball up in the air and then it'll bounce back up and I'll be able to come back to it at another time. But mental health and regulating and making sure I feel my best is definitely a glass ball. And if I throw it up and it hits the ground, it's going to shatter into a million trillion pieces. I would recommend that you figure out what is a glass ball and what is a rubber ball in your life. Like I said, I've been doing yoga for like 10 years, 10 to 12. I'm getting back to it. I'm a little rusty right now, but that's okay because our bodies grow and we grow and life happens and we accumulate stressors and we have to do work to release them. And so this is my first step to doing that. If you feel intimidated about joining a yoga class, if you've never done yoga, I highly recommend, if you don't want to join in person, get on YouTube because Yoga by Adrienne, she's good. They have Yoga with Bird, and I forgot the other people. But yeah, you should definitely give it a try. It's really relaxing. It feels good to be in a group setting doing it as well, because if you're doing this chair pose situation like I was doing, everybody's feeling the burn, so everybody's like shaking legs and acting crazy together. So you should do it. There's not really any discriminations. Find a good place that feels good to you and do your thing. This is just another tool that you can add to your toolbox so that you are not crashing out. And thank you for joining. Look at me falling over. Thank you for joining this episode of Regulating My Nervous System. I'm going to try to make sure this is a consistent thing, and I am out of here.